Man, we don't got too much to talk about today, so we're going to talk about a personal story. We finna talk about this ex-NBA player, man, that I invited to my house. And, he was spending a lot of money with me, if you know what I mean. And then he ended up uh, crossing some of my dogs and, calling the police on them. But I'm going to get to the story. But first, y'all need to hit that post notification bell button so you'll be in the loop every time I drop a video. Now, this NBA player, he played a long time ago. So if you wondering who I'm talking about, 9 times out of 10, you won't even know who the nigga is. You know what I mean? Because he played a couple seasons, and then I guess he got hurt, or the nigga got traded, and he just fell off. But the nigga a crackhead, you know what I mean? But I'm going to tell y'all the story, man. You know what I mean? Everything I'm saying is for education purposes and entertainment only. So I ain't going to say no names. We're going to call the dude Slim, because that's what we call him in the streets. And, we ain't going to say his real name because he's still out here and he battling with his addiction. You know what I mean? Because I just seen the nigga the other day, but I don't deal with him. But, yeah, man, let's talk about it. Well, back in the days, you know what I mean, me and my dogs them had an operation. And we had 2, 3 houses. And you know what I mean, my nephew had this certain house that he was working out of. And I used to be up the hill. We had a nigga towards the east. It was like a triangle. And you know what I mean, the block is a long block that go up a curve. And it's a whole bunch of hotels and shit all up and through there. You know what I mean? Prostitutes and shit. So we ran this trap house. And, I go up in the trap to go pick up some money, my money at one of the houses. And this nigga was laid up in there. So the first time I met him, he was in one of my trap houses. And, his legs were so long, he was sleeping on the love seat, the little small seat. And his legs were so long, it couldn't even scratch across the whole thing. So his legs was hanging off. That's how long the nigga was. So that's why we called the nigga Slim. So we didn't know who the nigga was. Because mind you, the niggas I'm trapping with, they was only 20-something. So they didn't know who the nigga was. So, boom, the nigga was around about 5 or 6 months. He made his way around all the traps in the little hotel rooms and shit that had little traps inside the hotels and shit. So he ended up coming to my little spot. So, boom, I'm jugging him all the time. But he really never had money. He always begging. You know what I mean? He was broke already. So I used to deal with him from a long handled spoon. And one day he had came up to me because he was working a regular job like telemarketing and shit. This is a real deal dude that played in the NBA and he was in the playoff game before. So boom. He came with his check. He spent 40 because he wasn't a big spender like that. He sat in the room telling me he got people coming and he working in my room like the doorman and shit. An ex-NBA player, bro. At the time, I don't know this. So, boom, we vibing. He sleep in my room and everything. He worked for me, do my store runs. And I just said, man, bro, who you is, man? You got to be somebody, because how he moved. I was like, bro, you got to be somebody. And then one day, bro, he told me to go look up something on Google. And when I looked it up, bro, it was a nigga, bro. He played for San Antonio Spurs. His picture was right there. He had his son played in the NFL, everything. And this nigga was broke. So, boom. He ain't never crossed me. He used to get shit from me and never come back, but not nothing real serious. $20, $30 worth of shit. But my homeboys, they didn't know about it, nigga. Since I knew that he was in the NBA and his son was in the NFL, I started asking him questions and shit. And kind of find out he was one of the first players, bro, black players, to ever even go to pros from his college. He had like records and shit. So the nigga had told my dogs to let him in the trap one day, and they did, and he had a check. But the little young niggas didn't realize it. It didn't wasn't filled out all the way. They just seen it had money on it and like 500 or 600. So they let him sit in there and smoke 500 or 600. So, you know, they was ready to get paid. So they took him to the Amscot to get their money. And the nigga went in the Amscot and told the people to call the police that the cats want to kill him. And, you know, he wanted to get off drugs and shit, bro. It's a real story. So the police came and my dog them had to get the hell up out of there. But I seen the nigga in the county, and he was Marcelli, so he had to go had he had child support violation. And he was telling me I was getting out because I had a little weed, and he had to get extradited to where he originally from. And you know, I ended up seeing him back out here. He's still out here, but yeah, man, they didn't pay that man. NBA don't pay that man. He out here living fucked up, and that's just a real story, bro. You know what I mean? NBA don't take care of a lot of they players that was in a long time ago. Cause I know when and he all on drugs and he sleeping the little tabernacle places and stuff with the homeless. A lot of people don't know his identity, but if he ever tell you, you'll be like shocked who the nigga is. But I know who he is, cause he ain't really from down here. He from somewhere else. He played for the Spurs. That's my story. Peace of mind.